Shankar Iyer, let me go across first to you. Now, of course, at the moment you're not in government, but as a member of the Congress and as a former minister, both Mr. Pranab Mukherjee and Mr. Chidambaram are men that you worked very closely with in government. Are you happy as a congressman that this matter is over? Do you think that it has actually ended, given what you know of these two ministers as well?
I think, by and large, the matter is over. One can't, of course, predict the future, but it does seem as if the attempt by the media to drive a wedge between the finance and the home minister hasn't quite worked out. But matters are in court, and therefore there could be other developments.
Mr. Iyer, it's interesting you said the attempt by the media to drive a wedge between these two men. It actually came about through a right to information. It was nothing to do with the media at all. You've been a minister many times yourself. Could a note like this have actually gone out, an interministerial background note, as Pranab Mukherjee put it, without a minister having cleared it? Could this have been left just to the bureaucrats?
Well, in bureaucraties and even in ministry release, there is a difference between seen and approved. And as I understand, it says that this note had been shown to the minister. And what was the note? The note was not something that was prepared by one ministry and at the minister's instance. This was a note that had been prepared in a composite fashion by senior representatives of several ministries together under the effective chairmanship of the cabinet secretary. And as I understand it, its principal purpose was to prepare a chronology of all events relating to the 2G matter, so as to enable the bureaucrats concerned as well as the ministers concerned to take a consistent stand before JPC. And as such, if I had been the minister, I don't think I would have looked very much beyond whether in fact the cabinet secretary has sat with everybody and they produced this document, and I said, yeah, send it on. So I don't think that there was a kind of conspiracy going on in North Block to ensure that one part of North Block is kicked out at the expense of the other. I think all that is wild fantasy.
Wild fantasy. Let me bring in Mr. Subramaniam here, former cabinet secretary. Could this happen, sir? Could this note have gone through without a minister having cleared such a clear inference? There, maybe indicting is a strong word, it's a legal word, but pretty much criticizing the then finance minister, Mr. Chidambaram. Could this note have gone through without being the distinction Mr. Shankar Iyer draws been seen and approved?
Well, Sonia, I think I have three broad points covering this particular aspect. And an introductory point, perhaps Mani, my good friend, has been away from government for a long time. He has been in politics in the last few years, and therefore perhaps he has...
not that long, UPA what?
Well, he does not, no, as a minister, but not as a bureaucrat. He was a bureaucrat once upon a time. And therefore, three things strike me. There's hardly any difference minister has seen, minister is approved. That's very, that's tautological, number one. Number two is that I have, in all my career, never seen a minister repudiate a note that is attributed to him. See what's going to happen now. If tomorrow a cabinet decision misfires, the cabinet will turn around and say, we didn't read it, some low bureaucrat prepared that, I repudiate it. It is astonishing that anybody could... The third thing is very puzzling to me, that I just happened to see it, glance through it in the last half an hour. I didn't study that note of March 25th. The facts are there. They're probably based on 200, 300 documents. One has to see whether the facts are correctly reflected in the summary. It's a little unusual for opinion of this sort, which I have seen interspersed with facts. In 7, 8 places I saw in that note. If it's a factual note, it's a factual note. Usually for going before the PAC or elsewhere, a group of officials do not interpret and give opinions there. But I leave it there. I mean, so I don't know about the correctness of it. Normally, unless Government of India has deteriorated very sharply in the last few years, mistakes don't take place of this sort. They are very, very careful, particularly when the paper is intended to go outside the government, to a PAC and elsewhere, or whatever it may be. It's an office, interministerial office memorandum. Senior people are involved. They don't make mistakes. And therefore, I am a little surprised at everything. But most of all, my main worry is if now ministries' papers are repudiated and withdrawn from time to time, is going to have a telling influence on governance.
What is the precedent? Let me bring in Ravi Shankar Prasad here, because Mr. Prasad, you made the point, and you made that point very strongly today in a press conference earlier, that at the end it's not about the politicians and the bureaucrats and passing the buck within government or within minister versus minister. You're saying that this is a larger issue for which the country has questions, and that's what should be answered, not about settling a so-called civil war within the UPA.
Well, Sonia, I've got this whole note of 25th March 2011 before me.
Right.
It says office memorandum. Office memorandum has a sanctity. And Pranab Babu himself has conceded that it was the result of inter-ministerial consultation, including feedback from the PMO and Cabinet Secretariat. Now, paragraph 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 of this note very eloquently states that had the then finance minister taken proactive and preemptive steps in time,
yes,
as was recommended by his senior officers, including the then Finance Secretary, the present distinguished RBI Governor, Mr. Subbarao,
yes,
then this larger misappropriation of public revenue could have been avoided. And I repeat, it is not a domestic war between two ministers of the government. The issue impinges upon public revenue, upon public exchequer, loot of public revenue amounting to loss of lakhs of crores. Had Mr. Chidambaram taken those steps as recommended by his officers, then Mr. Raja would not have been able to allocate the spectrum in July 2008. The Prime Minister in Raj Sabha, in response to Arun Jaitley's query on 25th or 24th of February 2011 to be exact, stated that earlier Mr. Chidambaram was opposed. But then on 8th of July 2008, he and Mr. Raja came on the same page.
NDTV's cricket app. Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.